Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm raising my 2.5-year-old daughter bilingually. Okay, Sasha, you want to sit with Mama?
Yes.
Come on, Sasha.
Oh my goodness.
In a one-parent, one-language home. I speak Spanish with her and my partner speaks English. I was raised the same way and I spent most of my elementary years living in Mexico City and Querétaro, which is a city about 3 hours drive north of Mexico City. I'm not a linguist or a speech language expert. I'm simply a bilingual mom sharing my experience, what's working for us, and the things that I'm discovering along the way. And I hope that encourages yours. What I want to talk about today is what are people going to think when I speak my language in public? So if you've been told that it's rude, either by someone in public or even your partner, that you're speaking Spanish and people hear it and can't understand it, is it actually rude? Is there something else going on, or what can we do about it? People might feel excluded from the conversation, that you may be talking about them, uncomfortable that it's a language they don't understand. Maybe you've caught yourself feeling embarrassment or anxiety and switching to English to avoid the feeling, or you've switched to English the second someone walks in the room or the second other kids or parents are around. If you've ever felt that tension, I feel it too. Let's talk about it. I realized something that changed the way I think about this and is helping me to maintain that language consistency with my daughter, which is the most important thing to protect. What I'm trying to do is make her fluent in Spanish as well. I don't have a Spanish speaking village around me. I have my family in Mexico City, but I want her to be part of her family with her whole self. And that means being able to joke in Spanish, converse in Spanish, understand humor in Spanish. It's not just words, it's a whole way of thinking and being. The culture is as a whole, and it is part of her. It's part of her heritage, and I want her to have that. My mother ensured that for me and for my sister, and I'm so, so grateful. And I would be missing a huge part of myself if I didn't have that. I would be missing half of myself. And having that why behind what I'm doing day to day with her, it's about prioritizing the language for my daughter. The very first thing you need to have is that basis of understanding your decision to be bilingual, trilingual, and why you want that for your child. Once you know that, it becomes much easier to make these decisions because you understand the consequences and you have something much stronger than, oh, is this person going to misunderstand or think I'm rude or think that we're talking about them? I'll say that I've had so many positive experiences taking my daughter to the playground, and I've encountered different parents that I speak to her in Spanish the whole time. And yes, I get there and I don't know them. So I don't say, hey, I'm speaking to her in Spanish. I don't go out of my way to say that. A lot of times they'll ask me, they'll say, oh, are you teaching her Spanish? And I say, yeah, I only speak to her in Spanish. And surprisingly, most people that have actually engaged with me and asked me that question, it's been a positive experience. They will either say, oh, I know a little Spanish, and they'll start saying something in Spanish. I live in Texas, so maybe there's a lot more of it here. Or they'll begin to share stories with me. I had a mom say that her grandparents' lineage is Latin, but her grandparents never taught her mom. So then her mom didn't teach her, and how much she wished she had learned it. You don't know how many people I've come across that say they wish they had learned Spanish. I hear it all the time. What are those little things that you're doing, whether in public and at home, that are showing your child what the dominant language really is? If I'm constantly switching to English out in public, that's hundreds of missed opportunities. And not only that, it's teaching her that Spanish is secondary and that English is primary. Spanish is for sometimes, English is for always. The important discussions happen in English. When you really want something, you ask for it in English. When it's serious, when mom gets upset, not that we're always yelling, hey, yelling in Spanish is more effective. I don't yell. But whenever something's important or you're trying to make a point, it's done in English. When we switch languages, every time someone walks into the room or every time we walk outside, we're teaching our child where that language belongs and that it belongs in private. that it's not as important, that it's secondary. Kids need so much exposure, especially if they're not going to get that language somewhere else. Yeah, it gets a little tiring, but do you really want your child to be fluent and to have that culture and heritage that you're trying to pass down? Your child is going to be able to speak the language, interact with family, develop their personality in that language. That's priceless. That's such a gift. When it comes to family and in-laws and things like that, I know that can get more dicey. Sometimes you've done everything you can. You've explained, you've maybe even switched the language up for someone and stuck only to English because you wanted them to be comfortable, and someone still says it's rude. You can still love someone deeply and not hand the reins over to them of your family's bilingual journey. You're the one driving the car, you're the one making the decisions, you're the one doing the hard work every day. And this is, it's not just you, this is for your child. You just have to really establish why you're doing what you're doing and come back to it over and over and think about the long term. You got to be okay with the discomfort in the short term. Their discomfort may still be real, but it isn't more important than your child's language. Speaking your language to your child is not rude. You can include people and still maintain your language. Put in the comments if you have any questions or your experience. I'd love to hear what your experience has been like, situations you've encountered, and I'll be back with another video soon. Thanks for watching. So what's rude is that I didn't introduce Sasha. So I'm so sorry. There she is. So rude of me to not introduce Sasha.